What would happen is you'd hear about stories of people getting in trouble, and then they'd make you scared because like, oh, well, I kind of did something similar. And it was all just making money off of prescriptions, right? We were selling prescriptions and they were expensive and people, you know, I guess the government got upset about it or whatever. But anyway,
but did the guy who'd made the insulin ever go to jail?
The insulin.
The guy who racked up insulin prices. Because like he makes the most amount of money.
Okay, so that's
you should go to jail.
That's an interesting story. So when you're in any sort of business that's regulated, if the government sees you as a certain size, it really comes down to whether they're going to go after you. If you're too big, like for example, Wells Fargo, right? Wells Fargo just had a settlement where they settled for 2.7 billion, or I think 3.7 billion.
Oh,
so they ripped off a lot of customers. That's a federal offense. No matter who you are, it's a federal offense. It's criminal, and people could have gone to jail. But because they're so big, the government said, okay, well, we're not going to go after these people criminally. We're going to go after them civilly and get millions or billions of dollars from them, right?
Okay.
Now, the leverage is, hey, if you guys don't pay us, then we're going to go after all your CEOs and we're going to take them all down. Kind of like what happened with Theranos, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, the flip side is if you don't make a lot of money at all, like say that you're the guy who's maybe writing fake checks for $500 here and there, the federal government's not going to really screw you on that either. But if you're a mid-sized company, like our company, we did probably about 20 million in sales or whatever each year, then that's a good size for them to go after because they're going to get a headline, right? They're going to say, oh, well, we just got these guys that made, $20 million. And then they also know that they can beat you because you don't have enough money to fight them.
Yeah.
You can't beat the government with a couple $1 million. Like look what's going to happen. Like with Theranos, like she probably spent, millions of dollars on her defense.
And there's nothing left.
And she still had to plead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the thing about federal sentences that's crazy is that they are very stiff and you don't get a lot of like time off on the front. So like if you get a state charge, everybody knows that say you get 10 years in state, you're only going to do 3 years or whatever. But up until just recently, federal, if you got a 10-year charge, you're going to do almost 8.5 years. So it's scary as shit when you get like a 4-year sentence. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was petrified, right? But here's how they do it. They say, okay, look, we know about this much money. And if you don't agree to this money and to this charge, then we're going to go after you for more. And so if you fight them and you take it to trial, those are the guys that I met in prison that had been there like 15 years that like completely hate life.
They lost their trials.
And they hate the government. You want to talk about libertarians? Like go to prison. Like these people fucking hate the government.
Go to prison.
Yeah. Honestly, you want to know the funniest shit? You've got really interesting hairstyles. You got really bad tattoos. You got a wide range of dental situations going on. And then everybody's wearing weird oversized uniforms or oversized sweatpants, whatever they can get, because when you go, people just give you shit. You don't have anything. Like when you walk in, and the way that it works is it's very segregated. So you have to go with your race, right? So they have the whites.
No way. They segregate you in prison.
Well, no. Socially it is. Like you're not segregated in prison.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, no, they do. So if they're going to put you in a cell with someone, luckily I only had to go in a cell for like 3 weeks because of COVID. Mm-hmm. The prison I went to was like really chill. But if they put you in a cell, then they're going to make sure they put you with someone of your same race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to keep
So they won't put like black and white
problems
in the same cell. They won't put white and Mexican in the same well. And there's two different types of Mexican. There's Southsiders and there's Paisas.
What?
Paisas.
Okay.
Now Paisas are Mexicans from Mexico. And that's people that speak Spanish fluently, right? Southsiders are like Mexican American, right? And Southsiders, like there's either Southsiders or Northsiders or Norteños, depends on what gang you're in.
Okay.
Right? So
we're gonna
now, if you're Asian, you're part
You don't have any gang, do you?
No, you do. You're part of the Islanders. So Asians, Indians, Hawaiians, and then anybody else that's not black, white, or Mexican goes in the Islanders.
That's hysterical.
Yeah,
though.
and then they have I think they have one for homosexuals. I don't know. There weren't too many people in my prison that were openly homosexual.
Yeah.
But yeah. But so the only thing that matters there, at least because I was in like a minimum security prison, is you have TV rooms. They don't mix the TV rooms because that causes fights, right? Because like you can't have black people go into white people TV rooms. And then when they
don't watch the same shit, or is it just
whether
people...
they do or they don't, like it's a fucking problem.
What's the problem?
I don't know. Like I was like, look, I want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, but even when it was like COVID major lockdown and there was only one TV room open and it was the white TV room, we had to get special permission to allow an Asian dude to come in there, and he was like the whitest Asian dude. Like, and we're like, can we please let him in? You know what I mean? So,
this poor guy, just like, I just want to watch.
I know
TV.
he just want to watch the movie you guys are watching. And he's like pushing his glasses up.
Oh shit!
There's a bunch of nerds in there with me, because what it is when you're in minimum security prison, it's like either white collar criminals, which is me, and by the way, like everybody thought I was the biggest nerd square. Like they're like I did not share like my life, with anybody, and I followed every single rule. And I was like, yes sir to everybody, because I just, for some reason when I got there, I just knew in my heart, like there's no way I'm going to be here 4 years. I was like, there's got to be a way to find a way out of this place. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, no, you're screwed. And I don't know what happened. I mean, I just got really lucky, but
you behaved. I
didn't get any trouble.
You did all the fucking, he has courses, guys. Like it looks like college, like classwork, courses that he did and everything.
I did. I read like 200 books, all cool. They had a beautiful library there. I mean, the place was cool. It was in Oregon, and it reminded me. I used to live in New Zealand, so it reminded me of New Zealand. That it is super clean air, like way cleaner than LA, and there was like bald eagles flying around and like osprey, and there's like this lake that the eagles would go dive into. And
this is the best ad for prisons I've ever seen.
There's fucking rainbows everywhere, dude, and like you're like out there running, like even when it was snowing outside, I'd be running on the track and like doing like thousands of burpees, like got super in shape. And the things that suck is like the food sucks, the healthcare there is atrocious. Like there was literally a guy there that had cataracts and he was going blind, and they didn't get him. All he needed was cataract surgery. They wouldn't even let him leave. He was literally, by the time I was out of there, he was walking around like bumping into shit. And like I was like, this is fucking outrage. And like the guards are just like, the guards are like, he's bullshitting. I'm like, he's fucking blind.
He's blind.
Yeah, like he had to like
bullshitting.
sue them to get him to go to the doctor and shit. Like,
whoa.
Yeah. So the healthcare, you don't want to mess up. Like,
yeah.
So
you don't want to get an injury.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't do any like major sports. Like I played basketball for one season there. But I was like,
seasons.
Well, yeah. I mean,
they put teams together.
Yeah, put teams together. Yeah. But the thing is also like everybody's like, don't play basketball if you don't want to get in a fight, because that's where the fights could happen.
Really?
Yeah. And they won't let you do football. Like you can't do football.